can ask Jay.
I'll get to the nice lady in the back. We really come on there.
It's definitely raining outside today. These blue skies feel miles away. The thunder clouds are dark and the final spinning soul. Why can't I remember everything I used to know? I said, well, ooh, la, la. Hope you remember the best of me. When you look back on how it used to be, I know that life can feel slow. There's lots of downtime, you know. But then again, it's as fleeting as a rainbow. Ooh, ooh, la, la. Sometimes life's tragic and sometimes it's clean. And mostly I'm holding a match drenched in kerosene, waiting for the wind to blow in the right direction, hoping for the best, counting on my blessings. Ooh, ooh, la, la. Hold on to the good times as they were, and don't forget to sing along. This time is forgetful like you were. Forgive all those who've done you wrong. Ooh, ooh, la, la. Hold on to the good times as they were, and don't forget to sing along. This time is forgetful like you were. Forgive all those who've done you wrong. Ooh, ooh, la, la. Ooh, ooh, la, la. Ooh, ooh, la, la. Thank you. So I wrote that song. I thought I didn't really have it was raining outside, and I thought I'd write a song that I would think you would hear while you're sitting out having coffee at a French cafe. And I played it for someone, and they're like, they don't play country music at a French cafe. I said, oh, all right. I've never been to one.
And we actually had that song in rotation at Radio St. Pete. So,
Oh,
how
yeah.
about that? So, I guess on some level, songwriters are always a little bit autobiographical. I don't think my songs are like that, except this one. This one is very much autobiographical, and it's pretty straightforward. It's all about my inability to sleep at night. Tossing and turning, another sleepless night. I'm way beyond midnight, just waiting for first light. And stop the constant chatter, that same damn old refrain. I'm way beyond midnight with a spinning brain. I'm way beyond midnight, can't get no sleep at all. I'm way beyond midnight, I wish I'd someone call. Gotta work tomorrow, noon time I'll hit the wall. I'm trapped between these walls, I'm tired if you please. I'm way beyond midnight, can't set my mind at ease. Well, sleep never comes easy, I'm putting up a fight. I'm way beyond midnight, just waiting for first light. sense. Wild imagination makes my trouble seem immense. Maybe on midnight, can't get no sleep at all. I'm way beyond midnight, my footsteps down the hall. Gotta work tomorrow, noontime I'll hit the wall. Well, the wind cries at midnight like a stood-up bride in June. I'm way beyond midnight, just gazing at the moon. Gotta quiet all this noise and ease my troubled mind. I'm way beyond midnight in that same old line. Way beyond midnight, can't get no sleep at all. I'm way beyond midnight, my footsteps down the hall. Gotta work tomorrow, noontime I'll hit the wall. Thank you. Thank you. So for the guitar players out there, if anybody was wondering, that song is in open G. So the strings are in essentially a G chord. I'm a huge Joni Mitchell fan. I've loved Joni. Probably, yeah, I love Joni. And it was a long time before I realized she didn't play almost anything in standard tuning. She used all these different kinds of tunings. And I mean, it was just a brilliant way of getting these really complex, interesting sounds out of the guitar. Of course, when I first discovered that, I thought that sounded like cheating to me. But anyway, open G. It's all yours.
Oh boy. Well, thank you guys for setting the bar really high. It's fun. I think I'll tell my story before I play this song. I've been writing songs for, according to my notebooks, about 20 years this year. And I thought this was the first song I'd ever written. And I've told myself and all my friends and my bandmates, this is the first song I've ever written. And that is not true. I found an older one the other day. But we're going to go with this is the first song I have written well and performed regularly. I wrote this in 2007-ish. Back in the day when the internet was still sort of blossoming and a lot of us had MySpace profiles. Everybody have a MySpace profile back then? Right. So you'll know exactly which generation those hands belong to. I had a good friend I met at a coffee shop here in St. Pete called the Globe Coffee Lounge. Rest in peace, Globe, one of the best places I ever got to be. My friend Darla, she had the coolest MySpace profile picture. It was her standing in a cypress swamp holding a rifle. So this is, for my friend Darla, this is Rifle Woman.
Standing with me.
forgot you were playing piano for a second. I'm like, how's she making these
Me
sounds?
too, I forgot too.
You guys are fantastic. Give it up for Jay and Jen. So this song, let's see, I wrote this song, well I wrote it and it was like a verse, and it sat there for a long time because I couldn't come up with a chorus. And it bugged me so much, I'd always go back to it and I couldn't come up with a chorus. And then one day I was like, oh, it doesn't really need a chorus, I'm just going to release it and put it out into the world. And it happened to be election day that day, so I called it Election Day. It has absolutely nothing to do with politics or elections. I put it up on Facebook, I made a little video, and Facebook kicked me off for 3 days saying I tried to sway the election, which I didn't know I had that much power with like 200 followers, but it was a nice 3 days. It was very quiet, I didn't have to look at other things.
And you failed miserably.
I did not sway the election in any way. Yes, this is election day. Same old news with different names. Same old promise that things might change, but you know around here it's still the same. Life's a circle of hope and blame. Better luck I never found. Stayed so far from my hometown, and every night when the sun goes down, I listen for that familiar sound. Guitars and bars and drunken fools, using a nightlife as a tool, you know anything to break the rules. Everything you never learned in school, if I learned anything at all, sooner or later we're all gonna fall, but it's a standing back up, that's the difference between a star that fades and one that gleams. Got this education on my own, open-minded mind that grows down dark alleys in the dead of night. Sure do hope that dog don't bite. If he does, another lesson learned, another scar I had to earn. And if I make it through to the end, maybe that dog will be my friend. All my other friends have all moved on, different towns and states of mind. Perhaps our paths will cross again, or maybe we all got left behind. Same old news, different names. Same old promise that things might change, but you know around here it's still the same. Life's a circle of hope and rain.
It's definitely all about election interference. This tune is called Slide On Over, and it's a silly love song. And Paul McCartney said, I think the world has had enough of silly love songs. But, this one came about years and years ago. I participated in this songwriters group. It was an online group. It's called FAWN, F-A-W-N. It's February Album Writing Month. And the idea is write an album worth of songs in the month of February. I never did it. I had lyrics and I had a few songs. I never got 12 or whatever the actual number was. But it was a really interesting exercise. It would, I think, give you 4 prompts through the month. Write a song about this, write a song about that. This one was use alliteration. And I'm not sure I used alliteration exactly correctly, but that was sort of the impetus for this tune called Slide On Over. I'd like to see just a little bit of you, and I'd like to hear your voice out of the blue for maybe a minute or two. So whenever you can, or however it goes, whatever you do, it'll be easy, I know. Just slide right on over to me. I'd like to hold you just for a while. And I'd love to gaze on your beautiful smile for maybe a year or two. So whenever you can, or however it goes, whatever you do, it'll be easy, I know. Just slide right on over to me. It's a small request, not a real hard task. Okay, maybe it is, but I still gotta ask. We'll take it slow, however you say. I'm gonna love you day after day. I'd love to love you for a good long time, and I'd love to sing you some more sweet rhymes for a lifetime or two. So whenever you can, or however you might, whatever you do, just say alright and slide right on over to me. And slide right on over to me. Just slide right on over to me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I don't have any alliterative stuff I could follow that with. Maybe later on I do, but so I chose a theme for myself tonight to kind of keep me focused on how my set list would flow, and I decided to perform songs that I've written either inspired by someone in my life or about someone in my life or someone else is someone in their life. And this song is, it's my friend Stacy. She's not here tonight, and I would sing it if she was. She would love this. I've played it for her once or twice, but there are people that just have such unique and outstanding personalities that feel like they're one of a kind. Do you know what I mean? Like you know that you don't know anybody else like that in your circle. Does that make sense? And then you have the people who are that plus another maybe 80%. The weirdest people you've ever met, and that is my friend Stacy. She is one of the dearest friends I've ever had. We met working at a retail store downtown, and we just had an instant connection. I've learned a lot about friendship from her because it takes patience to be friends with somebody who is quite neurodivergent, and it takes a lot of self-awareness to be loving when somebody just doesn't move at the same pace as you and sees things from a very different perspective. But that is the richness of friendship, I think. And so I wrote this song for my friend Stacy. It's called Above.
I spent the 90s in Hawaii, and my family actually just got back Tuesday night. We went out to visit for my birthday. And I had a friend there, and he had a truck. And when I lived there, I didn't have a car, so anytime he showed up, I would just jump in the back of his truck and go wherever he wanted to go. And he was like, Gabe was so accommodating, he would just do whatever. I'm like, well, I just wanted to get away. Like, I don't know. But while we were out there, my whole family, my daughter and my son, my wife, we all got in the back of Mike's truck, and I got a picture of that. That meant a lot to me. It was Uber driver before there was Uber. So this is called In the Back of Mike's Truck. Well, we all hopped in the back, oh crazy night, be it right or wrong. In the back of Mike's truck, the party goes on. Every night was an overload, down to the beach we go, tailgating underneath the stars. I remember crazy nights, singing until the break of dawn. In the back of Mike's truck, the party goes on. We hide our beer from the cops, hoping that we wouldn't get caught, laughing every time that they drove by, smiling at the girls, thinking we could win on with the song. In the back of Mike's truck, the party goes on. And when the bonfire burns down, we'll get every truck in here in town. Sitting in the back with Mark and Joe, tapping on the glass just to say hello. Now those songs and nights are past, and I find myself just looking back, smiling on the wonder in those nights. In the morning we discover, waking up hungover on the lawn. In the back of Mike's truck, the party goes on. Now those nights, they never fade, I guess they were the good old days. Luckily they're never too far gone. In the back of Mike's truck, the party goes on. Well, we all hopped in the back, oh crazy night, be it right or wrong. In the back of Mike's truck, in the back of Mike's truck, in the back of Mike's truck, the party goes on.
Well, this is sort of kind of on that theme. I've never actually done this, sat at a bar by myself and drank my sorrows away. But I had this idea for a song, and it just seemed like a country song to me. That Johnny Paycheck, I'm going to drink and drive that woman right out of my mind kind of song. And so I had it all fleshed out. I had the lyrics and the chorus here and the bridge and all that stuff. And I just couldn't get anywhere. And so finally I sort of threw in the towel and called in the heavy artillery, and I sent the lyrics with nothing else attached to it to a friend I'd done some other co-writing with, and said, Roland, his name is Roland Middleton, everybody calls him Miggy. I said, Miggy, see if you can do something with this. And he came back literally like 48 hours later with this. I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling blue. An old cliche, but oh so true. It's another night of rocks and shots. You know I'm gonna be sitting and thinking of my mind. I hear her voice saying, please be gone. Take your guitar, your sad, sad songs. I hear her voice saying, pack your bags, hit the road. Just go away, hit the road. Just go away, hit the road. Here's my damn keys, please call a cab. I ain't that crazy, just feeling bad. Shot to go of old blackjack. You know I'm finished with sitting and thinking, thinking and drinking, sitting and thinking, thinking and drinking. 'Cause she's out of my mind. She's out of my mind. Right out of my mind. Plumb out of my mind. Thank you. And I swear I've never sat in a bar drinking my sorrows away. I might have an old fashioned or two sometime, but that's about it.
It's not as bad as it sounds.
You guys referencing some drive-in themes and hitting the road, and I have one I wrote while I was driving. I didn't write it down, I sang it into my voice notes on my phone, don't worry. I was on the Skyway when it hit me, so there was no stopping. The drive-in songs sort of have that feel to them, right? It's kind of, it hits you a place where you can feel the road going out from underneath you, in a good way, where you got all that time to yourself and all that asphalt to think about things. And Mother's Day is on Sunday, right? Happy Mother's Day to the mothers in the room, the mother adjacent people, because there are people that fill that role and are very, very important to keep in this world moving. But my mom's 73rd birthday would be on Monday. She passed away a few years ago. And I wrote this song on her birthday. It's not necessarily about my mom, but I've always said it's for her since I wrote it on her birthday. So this is called Back Home. Oh, I'm taking flight, I'm losing sight, I'm gonna skip this town tonight. I'm headed out to find myself a home. 'Cause I played a little, I strayed a little, I think I lost my way a little. Time to make my way back home. Thank you.
So the idea for that came and you were driving over the Skyway Bridge.
Yes. Back to St. Pete.
I'm assuming the keyboard was not in the passenger seat, you kind of worked it out as you went along?
Twas not. Can I tell one more quick story about this song? Because I clearly play the piano and not the guitar. I just sang it into the voice notes in my phone, and that is the key I decided it would be in, which is a pain in the ass for some guitar players. So I have learned that I either have to transpose or play it by myself. So, but my bandmates are willing to play it in this horrible key, so thanks guys.
That's why God created capos.
Not the piano, unfortunately. It's gonna make it work.
Do lyrics typically come first, or?
I'm so glad you asked. I have 3 different ways. One is, the first way is usually lyrics. Second way is chord progression that kind of sits and marinates. But then this was what I call a divine download. It all hits me at once, and I have to stop what I'm doing and record it, or I'll lose it. So this is one of those.
That's cool.
That's awesome. That's a beautiful song.
Yeah, great song. Good story, too.
Well, thank you all for being here. Give it a hand for yourselves, because it's so much more fun to play after happy faces. I sit here every day and play with nobody, so it's so nice to see people like that. This song, let's see. So I was recently in Hawaii, and we were talking with my friends, and a lot of my stories don't fit the generation that we're in right now. So I'm old school. So I'm sorry if the punchline doesn't land. But, I don't know. Anyway, so it was St. Patrick's Day. I was in Hawaii. I was 19 years old, and my friends were going out to the bar, and I wanted to meet them there later, and I didn't have any money, so I decided I'd go down to Waikiki and street sing, and I borrowed a guitar from a friend, and I went down and I put my hat out, and I sang Jimmy Buffett songs all night long, and people come by and throw me $1 or whatever, and then this one gentleman, maybe in his, I don't know, 60, I was 19, he could have been 40, to me he was 60. He stood there for a long time, and he'd give me a $20 bill, and he would press something to say to it, and then he'd give me $20 more, and he's like, what are you doing here? I'm like, well, I'm trying to make money to go out with my friends. And he's like, well, there's a bar right there, let's just go to the bar. And I said, okay, that sounds good. So we went there, and he was charismatic, and like the whole bar just gravitated to him, and he was telling stories about safaris in Africa and traveling the world, and he was like Indiana Jones to me. He was very super cool. There were a lot of red flags as I look back at this story. And then he said, well, I belong to the Outrigger Canoe Club, which is a real exclusive club, and he's like, let's go when they have margaritas. And I'm like, I love margaritas, let's do that. So we go out there and we sat at this little, at the point, very romantic spot. And he was talking to me about being a swimmer and stuff, and I'm like, okay, this is cool. And he's like, you want to go watch a movie? And I said, like Indiana Jones, let's do it. Let's go watch a movie. So he drove me to his penthouse, which was about 30 minutes away. And he sat down, he put in an adult movie, and he left. And I was on the couch with my friend's guitar, and I didn't know what to do. So I excused myself. Well, he came back out, and he had these leopard print robe and it wasn't boxers, but yeah. I excused myself, went to the bathroom, locked the door, splashed water on my face, tried to figure out how I was going to get back to where I lived, which was a long way away when you got in the car. In the back of Mike's truck, I could have called him. We didn't have cell phones then, so it was hard. So when I came out of the bathroom, he's standing there, and he's like, why'd you lock the door? And I said, I just always lock the door, man, I don't know. And then that's when the proposition came, and We got up to like $5,000, I think. And I said, can I please just go home? So he drove me home. I told him the wrong address that was near my house. And he dropped me off. And this song has nothing to do with that, but it's called Not For Sale. I don't drive an expensive car because of those gasoline. I don't wear designer clothes like they do in all the magazines. And I don't drink down there and you don't cheap beer's been good to me. Raise your glass, say we'll kiss my ass, cause the best things in life are free and I'm not for sale. I never have been, I never will be, must be out of my mind. But I'll take my time and I'll give my love for free. But I don't have a big screen TV where I watch all my favorite shows. I don't got some fancy watch telling me it's time to go. And I don't take those debutantes to do lunch with the movie star. If you need me, you can find me. I'll be sitting right there at the bar. I'm not for sale. Never have been, I never will be. Must be out of my mind. But I'll take my time and I'll give my love for free. I don't got a big house on the hill with the pool and the ocean view. I don't got some beat up yacht that I sail out on the ocean blue. And I don't need her telling me how I gotta live my life. I don't care if I'm a millionaire, cause tonight I feel alright. I'm not for sale. I never have been, I never will be. I must be out of my mind. But I'll take my time and I'll give my love for free. That's free love. Free love. Free love. Thank you.
I'm not telling any more stories after that one. You win. Get outside and ride a bike. Paint a picture from your insight. Pick yourself up right after you fall and get some skin in the game. Get some skin in the game. Give a little, then give some more. Open your heart, don't slam the door. Reach down deep, that solid core, and get some skin in the game. Get some skin in the game. And be the one that'll change the world. Don't sit idly by to watch it all unfurl. You can be the one that'll change the world. Get some skin what they are. Don't hold back, dance on the bar. Speak your mind, but with a touch of grace. And get some skin in the game. And get some skin in the game. Get some skin in the game. Thank you. So I wrote that a long way back. And the line that always sort of grabs me is speak your mind, but with a touch of grace. My mother's middle name was Grace, so that was sort of a little nod to her. She was definitely the Ms. Manners type. I shall write thank you notes, handwritten. But I wrote that, speak your mind, but with a touch of grace. That was actually in the Bush II administration. Obviously, no one was listening.
Okay. That should have been one of your alliterative songs too. Lots of, yeah, it's good. So before I play my next song, I just want to say thank you to everybody who has joined us tonight for this amazing event, and thanks to Gabe for inviting me to be a part of this showcase. Can we give it up for Noisemakers, please? And I'm in a couple of bands, and most of them are here tonight. Dave Schreiber is leader of the Ocean Road Band. I have had the pleasure of singing with them for a couple of years now, and we play a lot of really upbeat, fun covers spanning multiple decades, and I got a chance to work with some of my favorite people, some great musicians. I've met some amazing people at our gigs, so thanks for coming, Dave and Janie, tonight. I also have an original band, which tentatively named the Grasshopper Sparrows. We have a lot of names. We were 105 Degrees for the Petty tribute that we played here back in October that Gabe included us on. So, and I have my friend Clayton here tonight. He plays rhythm guitar in my band, and his lovely wife Whitney, I think, has stepped out with their beautiful baby. And then my friend Mike, who plays bass. So I just want to thank you guys for coming and supporting all of us tonight. This next song sort of ties into the Warehouse District. Does anybody remember a place called the Venture Compound? It was right around the corner. I think there's a coffee shop called Concrete or Metal or Cement or something right back there. But anyway, that's where it used to be. And one of the people who was really involved in the Venture Compound was dating a good friend of mine. And, you know, you're in your 20s. It didn't work out. She was crushed, utterly crushed. I took phone calls for weeks and just would have to mute myself so I could get stuff done, because she would just be cycling through the crying and the stories and the whining. So I wrote her this song to cheer her up after a breakup with a guy who just turned out to kind of be, you know, not the greatest. She ended up going on to have a beautiful kid who I get to teach music to. And life takes us in a lot of different directions, but this is Goodnight Heartache from my friend Felicia. Good night, heartache. Hello, morning. I heard you coming round the block. Good night, heartbreak. Hello, sunrise. I'm glad you stopped to talk. Good night, heartache. Hello, moonbeam. I'm really glad you stopped by.
You own Noisemakers, you can do whatever you want.
I'm going to try it. I might fail, and I apologize if that happens. This is a song about my grandpa. My grandpa was a mathematician. He started the statistics department at the Ohio State University. And he, I don't know, any mathematics people out there?
My son, he's 6. Where'd he go?
1 or 2? All right. Well, he had something called the Whitney test. He invented, I don't know, he made that test. And it got me through high school. All my algebra teachers were very impressed with that. And I'm horrible at math. And when we would go to his house, we would open the door, and he was always sitting in his chair doing his crossword puzzle. And then, like, the minute the door opened, he would just be like, 9 divided by 3 times 2 plus 4. It got way, that's all I know. He got way more complicated than that. And then if you got the answer right, which my brother always got it right, you got dessert after dinner. And if you didn't get it right, you didn't get dessert. And then you ended up with your grandma on the porch eating whipped cream. But that was my life. So anyway, I wrote this song about him. He had Alzheimer's, and he became I don't know. He was very cool when he had it, and he told me stories about when he was in the Navy, and it was very interesting. It was also very sad. Every time I would go over, they had moved into a home, and there was a bookshelf in the corner of the room that was just a corner, and he would always say, "Gabe, can you help me move these books? We gotta get out the door." And my grandma would get so mad. She's like, "There is no door there." And he'd be like, "Help me out." And so we would move the books, move the bookshelf, and she would be furious at me for helping her. And then one night, about 2 or 3 in the morning, there was a phone call that he was missing. And in the place they lived, there was one exit, the front door. And there was a security guard there 24 hours a day. And no one had seen him. No one knew where he was. And when they found him, he was sitting on the opposite side of the wall where he said the door was. So, in my mind, I'd like to think he found that door. I don't know. What if all of this is really just a dream? Draw your final breath, close your eyes, and then you'll see the colors of another world, one you hardly know. Not sure if you're a stranger or a soldier coming home. Waited all your life for a bit of recognition. Not a trophy on the mantle, not a talent on television. Just a simple, kind remark from someone you respect. It's a way to take a smile from one world to the next. And you will see me again. You look back on where we've been. Rock and roll songs and the